Hi traders, welcome to this video. Today I was going to go through sort of my recent positions on silver and what I think about silver going forward. This is a market that I've been pretty much buying from the start of the year, and I just wanted to show you how I was getting into those positions, why I was getting into those positions, and ultimately what I think is going on next. So when I take a look at where I started to initially buy silver prices, it was down towards these lows here at the early start of the year. Basically what happened was we came into this supporting low here, and at the time on the commitment of trader reports, we actually had a signal to buy silver. Previously what we had was the market had been moving lower. We came up into these kind of 34.80s and the market had dropped quite significantly. As prices were dropping, what I found was that hedge funds were starting to sell with it, right? But commercials were starting to buy back in a heavy way. So I thought that we could get some upside to silver prices, and that's worked out pretty nicely. That, as well as the correlation between silver and gold at the moment. We know gold has been really bullish recently, and the fact that gold prices are surging higher is only going to help silver prices, because as gold becomes kind of very bullish or kind of overpriced, in my opinion, hedge funds are going to go move to silver. And this is actually being shown in the contracts, right? What are we seeing? Gold reaching all-time highs. But if we look at the recent contracts, we actually saw hedge funds increase their short positions, decrease their long positions, making for a net loss of minus 7,161 contracts. So even though gold prices have been moving higher, hedge funds are getting short, which is interesting to me. Take a look at silver though, 6,000 contracts long. They did add to short positions, but they also added to long positions as well. Now, what this kind of tells me is that are we seeing that gold is overvalued compared to silver? I've probably talked about this to death recently, especially if you've been on the live streams. But I think it's important to say, like, you know, trading's not always just about going to all the different currency pairs and that. If you can find one market, you can milk it for all it's got. Point an example over here. I've gone long here, I've gone long here, 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 and here, right? So 5 times I've bought into silver this year. All of them have been successful, right? Because I've managed to find a market that is a good market to be a part of, right? This is where I look to do, this is why I look at my 3-step process, right? Why do you want to be in a market? Well, I want to be in it because hedge funds are buying it. It's not the only reason, right? It's not the only reason that I want to be buying it, but it's in with my sentiment analysis. My sentiment analysis is saying that hedge funds are buying it. So I want to do that. I also look at the gold silver ratio. I also look at correlations within the markets. I also look at, you know, just general macroeconomics. You know, why would silver be bought up in general macroeconomics? Well, gold is being used as potential safe haven with global uncertainty growing. A caveat of that is silver could also get bought up as well because it's the cheaper precious metal. Okay, on the back of that, platinum as well. We talked about platinum potentially moving higher. Net change long this week plus 1,800 contracts. So interestingly enough, I just think that silver could be a continuation this year. And when we look at prices, we're back, or we're just trading above this $33 point. We're pulling back at the moment. This is where I start to get interested, okay? So if you look at how I've been trading this year, really, every pullback I've been getting interested on. So I bought here. That was a breakout, which I'll go show you in a moment. Here as well, we pulled back. I got interested. I bought the market. Here, market pull back on that secondary phase. I wanted to buy it just to see if it went into the primary phase. Here, market pull back. I'm buying the next kind of breakout. Here, the market pulled back. This was on a lower time frame and then took it along as well. So what I'm trying to show you is my process, right? So why do I want to be in the market? I've explained that with this stuff. The conditions, okay, around that market, we're in an upward trend. We found support. We're in an upward trend. I want to buy those trends, okay? Strategy. How do I get involved on a strategy point of view? Very, very, very simple. Okay, I try and keep it as simple as possible. When a market is trending, okay, I've been taught this as well, so I'm teaching it to you and passing it down to you. Primary phase, secondary phase, primary phase. This is a daily chart, okay? What you will see in between that is, let's say now, 4-hour chart. Market will make lower lows, lower highs, higher lows, higher highs in different conditions, right? So in the secondary phase, and in a daily upward trend, the lower time frames will be going against trend. When that breaks, that's when I get involved, because it tells me that there is a potential, not always, but there is a potential that the daily primary phase is beginning again. Okay, and that works fractal. And what I mean by that is, if we go to the hourly chart, there'll be a trend within the trend of that, or a 30-minute chart, whatever. But essentially, all these kind of secondary phases will have downward trends in them in the daily upward trend situation. So I'm looking to try and trade that kind of environment. That is my strategy, essentially. So if we go take a look at a couple of examples, we'll start with the first example, which formed at the beginning of the year. Okay, so essentially what happened was the market was trending down. We then rebounded and we formed a double bottom pattern. Okay, this is, if you are familiar with the channel, this is probably one of my favorite trading patterns, just because what it tells me is buyers got involved here, okay, and they got involved in an aggressive way. They've tested that. Are they going to defend it? If they don't defend it, price is going to continue lower. But if they do, are we going to see prices push higher? So what I typically look for is a change of trend. Well, look, the market formed a sort of double bottom or consolidation within that larger pattern on the 4-hour time frame. It broke higher. I ended up buying after a couple of little pullbacks on a lower time frame there. But essentially, breakout, bought it, took some profits off. After there was a bit of a volatile trading period for that market. When we go to the next one, you know, this was a daily pullback phase. What was happening in this market? Well, again, we were kind of pulling back, making lower lows and lower highs. This one was taken on an hourly chart because we had a consolidation in here. I looked at the hourly chart, which then broke out of this condition. So I bought this market at that point. Okay, going on to the next one. Market is pulling back. What is it doing? It's making lower highs, lower lows. Where does that condition change? Changes here for me, okay? Because we have this consolidation period. Break out of that, I'm involved, looking to try and take profits a little bit higher up. Same again, you know, market is in that pullback phase. Lower lows, lower highs. Okay, we come up into this head and shoulders pattern. I got in here, basically looking at that 4-hour pullback. If you actually go down to a 30-minute time frame, okay, we can have a look at that in a little bit more detail, which is here, right? That little market move there. Okay, I think it was that one anyway. Let's have a look. There was one on the 27th. Just after the 27th. So here's the trade tracker. Here we go. Right. This is the one where I got hit on my trailing stop. But you can see pullback phase within the market. Chop, chop, chop. There's that highs. Market's trying to break through it. We break through it finally. I end up taking a long position. Okay. Stop losses probably, well, at the time were probably either down below this low or down below that low in here. Okay, and we can see that the market then continued to trend up. So what do we think is going to happen now? You know, what is going to happen now? Well, technically, has anything changed? No, we're still seeing buying on hedge funds. Okay, have we reached an extreme of that? Absolutely not. Okay, net positions 59,526, nowhere near a 52-week high. Okay, so continuing to look for opportunities. Has anything changed in the conditions? No. Market is making higher highs, higher lows. That's fine. All I need to do now is still apply the strategy. So we're seeing that secondary phase come in. Will that change? Will we see upside? Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave it a thumbs up, subscribe if you are new, and I'll speak to you in the next one.